Oh yeah. How about PerfectPryzm? How did you make the connection with them?
They're from Australia. They approached me, and I listened to. It was they had the 3-second rule,
Hmm.
and there was a couple of songs that managed to get under my skin a little bit. The lyrics. It was a unique way and a unique arrangement. The lyrical arrangement was unique, as was the production for that lyrical arrangement. Although it was a universal topic, it was just done in a very unique way. So it appealed to me, but right from the get-go. And
Ah.
then it was, very easy to talk to them.
Yeah, but then you really cultivated that from
Yeah.
a rock band into this dance act
Right.
with the club jump.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were one of the groups that I actually groomed and tweaked and changed and made into something that they weren't, and they were extremely amicable about it.
Ah. So let me ask you, what is one of the most rewarding things about having an independent record label?
There ain't nothing rewarding about it in this day and age, honey. It all sucks.
Ah. Oh.
It all sucks. Anybody that's got an attitude, I don't deal with. I take no prisoners. What's rewarding about it is when you see the band or the artist performing, loving what they do, doing it really well, like as if they were in the studio, so they can manage to replicate the studio production, which is not an easy thing to do, but it's definitely a sign of true professionalism. It makes it a lot easier on the ear.
Ah. Now let me.
Well, rewarding also, I think, is when you're taking a small band and all of a sudden they are getting attention, they're getting placements, and they're somewhere where they weren't before, and just seeing, how they develop and how they achieve something that they necessarily might not have done on their own. So it is in that respect a rewarding feeling to be able to help independent artists grow and nurture them into something bigger and better.
Ah. So I know you guys also kind of you all kind of answered this in little bits and pieces here and there, but I'm still gonna ask it anyway. If you have any more experience you want to add to this list, but what are some of the worst experiences you faced with starting with having an independent record company, and how'd you all bounce back from them?
Well, right now we're going through some rocky roads, high wave, high tide, tsunami, hurricane, torrential downpour, earthquake, volcano, mudslide, all of the above, baby.
Wow.
It's pretty tough right now. We're in a federal court with a competitor of ours who's infringing on our trademark class. And that came about probably about 3 years ago. And upon the, consult of our attorneys, it was not a good time to do anything about it. But we decided that we would handle that, and we're dealing with it right now. And the cards are on the table for negotiation and for a final resolve, and we'll see what happens. But that's not something we've totally bounced back from yet. And at the same time, while fighting and doing what we need to do, there have been suddenly others that seem to like our name enough to want to use it in other countries. So it's become a global effort, really, and that seems to be the biggest battle that we're experiencing currently. Have we bounced back? Absolutely not. But is it going to kill us? No. Is it going to help us redefine things? Probably. But that's what happens. The earth, moves and shifts, and you have to kind of go with it somehow so that you don't get gobbled up.
And do you want to mention?
Not necessary.
All right. Well. Okay.
Not necessary. I mean,
really to keep our trademark of ACM records alive.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are trying to use the name ACM, and it's a constant battle to ward off these imposters.
People like to take what's not theirs, and they like to piggyback off other people's success, you know. That's how it goes. That seems to be the American or the global way these days. That when you've been around as long as we have, and you've managed to survive a few economic downturns and are still somehow here, people think you must be doing something right. So they figure, why reinvent the wheel? Let's just piggyback off of that. You see it a lot in the hip-hop world, for sure. Artists sampling other artists' music that don't have any claim to it. The same thing in the business world. People stealing each other's name until little by little you either get annihilated or you annihilate. You know, it's all war, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And another thing, when you're talking about our early hip-hop days and stuff, if you put this in, I just want to mention, you know, we are an authentic hip-hop label, and we did all the music for the hip-hop classic, Paid in Full.
Ah.
Do you know that movie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the soundtrack movie music in there is from artists from ACM Records, which included quite a few tunes from Melle Mel from the Grandmaster Flash days.
Oh yeah.
So we do have a longevity in hip-hop, and we are, once again, with our newer acts, trying to reinvent it and come back with some newer and stronger acts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me ask you, what are some of your pet peeves working with individual artists? Like certain things just kind of just gets you kind of riled up working with different artists.
Anybody that's got an attitude, a chip on their shoulder, or an entitlement demeanor or disposition with no real, stats to speak of is one of them. That will be one of the big pet peeves. If they had the good grace to be signed by us, and they don't really have the stats, but they think that, you know, they have a little couple of songs that they think are anything, you know, a little something, something, they think that, you know, that entitles them to have an attitude. That's one of them. Mm-hmm. Another one is, an artist that thinks you should spend stupid money on them. That just don't happen anymore, you know. That's sort of along the same lines as the entitlement disposition. And I think those are the two main ones, really.
It's attitude adjustments.
Oh, yeah.
You know, nothing is given to anybody. You have to work hard for it.
Is there any artist in particular on the label that you would like to name that you had to humble?
We got to humble a lot of them, man. We humble all of them, trust me, including my classical symphonic composers. So, you know, everybody from my gangster rappers to my classical symphonic composers all get the Eve Adams humble treatment. They're doing the humble jump.
I feel you, I bet.
Yeah. You ever see the humble jump on Soul Train, man? That was me. I invented that jump.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what makes ACM Records different from the other independent record companies?
The humble jump is indigenous to the name, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I come in with, my boxing gloves on, and I go out with them on. So, they're on, pretty much. It's the way we run the company with boxing gloves.
Oh yeah.
And we have a take no prisoner attitude. And if anybody thinks that their, thing is, they're too cool to Calypso, they're going to be subject to the humble jump after the couple of rounds in the ring.
Oh yeah.
So you word for word.
They know how to say it, Jenny. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: are you now I know you guys are hands-on with the artists, but there's so many artists. Are you all hands-on with like kind of each project, or is it certain artists that you kind of just let do their own thing, and then and then after the project's done, you review it, or how does that work? Or how does that work?
We just do it on a project-by-project basis, where whatever level the artist, comes in at. We kind of take it from there, and we just, do the do, whatever needs to be done to make it commercial, to make it packaged, and, make sure that they all have a little bow on them before they go out of here, So it's all really project by project basis. Depends on what level they're at.
Ah. Okay, I wanted to ask this earlier. What I'm going to ask you, it may be off the record, but I like to do these podcasts also to educate, artists and things like that. It's on the come up. But I just want to ask, and if you don't want to, if you want to answer it, that's fine. Where does kind of the bulk of the money, the revenue, what revenue stream, being an independent record company, what actually makes kind of the money and what doesn't, those kind of things.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It just really varies. It's a very volatile area, when you're talking about money, revenue streams. The industry's changed so much that we have to be like chameleons and kind of exist, survive, and make money, when we need to change the camouflage,
Also, these days, just like any of the labels, but it's a lot about making the artist a brand.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? You have to change them from just being an artist that plays music into something that, just like Jay-Z makes more money from his brand than he does from his actual sales. So does Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber.
Oh, yeah.
They're all making money from the band Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? The brand, so we're trying to develop more into that new model of a company.
Exactly.
So just like, they're doing jewelry line, they're doing merchandising and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. And, and getting sponsorship and,
Right, and that's where you're coming into the picture with us now.
Oh, yeah.
Look to be able to get other people to get involved with it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So it's not so much as the download. I mean, Lady Gaga on one of her hit records made $160 from Spotify. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But she made millions from her brand itself, from everything else.
But you got to spend a few millions to make a few.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
But you just have to reposition yourself. It's all right now. It's labels are. It's all about repositioning your artists for the modern world.
Oh, yeah. And now that the climate has changed, what do you think is the kind of the best places for artists and independent labels to invest their money? Because I know you say you got to kind of spend money to make money. What areas should artists kind of focus, or labels should focus putting their money into?
That's a tough one. I don't know. When you figure it out, you let me know.
Well, I got ideas for that, but we gotta
get with one another on our ideas. We talked about that already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. And let me ask you, what advice would you give up and coming artists that are listening to the podcast right now?
Think twice before you go into the entertainment business. Don't quit your day gig. Go back to school. Get a strong education. And if you want to do music, learn the craft of playing an instrument and reading music. Because, not only will you have a pleasurable, long-term reward by having learned an instrument, the education is important because it'll give you a newfound respect for the industry, and you will always be able to accompany yourself without the critique that comes along with not playing anything because, you kind of rely on people to do it for you, So it's always a nice thing to be able to have education as an artist.
And also the business side.
And, that goes along with education.
We have two foundations we put together. One is giving students a chance, and the other one is the real world music biz course. So we're looking to give back to the community community and really educate a lot of these new artists and bands and about learning the music business itself.
Oh yeah.
So you can't just be a stupid artist. You really got to be smart and learn how to market yourself and learn how to protect yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And also,
we're always looking ways to give back to the community. Also, that's a strong thing about being an independent label is how you could give back to the community, how you could let years and years of experience and knowledge, how to give it back to younger artists so they could grow in the right way.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And I know this kind of, I guess, goes in the same category as the last question that I asked, but I'm still going to ask it. What advice would you give people that's interested in starting their own label? What advice would you give them?
They should definitely have money. They shouldn't just assume that, recording a record and releasing it on their own is the end-all solution, because it really takes money to make money. But more importantly, if you want to have a long haul in the record label industry, you really have to have education, experience, and more importantly, a constant, steady flow of money to keep it fueled, because it takes a lot of money to keep it going, man. You have to be able to, promote your artist, but more importantly, pay for recordings and masters and all that kind of stuff, and attorney fees that you need to be incorporated, and it's a very expensive proposition. So starting a record label, anybody can do it, but doing it right for the long haul, there are a select few that have managed to do it.
Oh yeah. Now, is there anything else you want to add to anything more you want to say about ACM Records, or also about the organizations you all have? Just anything you just want to share?
Yeah, I just want to share, a little shout out that if anybody likes anything they heard and they want to give us a like and they want to help support our fight, and our cause, definitely please feel free to write about, this current situation with trying to fight for our name and protect our integrity and our longevity in the industry as an independent company, and not get gobbled up by some big ass, company that has money and wants to take what we've earned, what we've worked very hard for all these years, and just call it their own because they share the same name. So anybody that doesn't like that, we really appreciate your support.
Support is by really supporting the artist.
Supporting the artist. And
don't illegally download.
Don't illegally download, please, man.
It's trouble for the artist to make a dime.
Yeah, it's really hard for the artist to make a nickel, and it's even harder for the labels to make money with illegal downloads and samples. And we'll just ask that if anybody really cares about independent music and independent artists, that they understand that ACM Records is was on the forefront of one of the indie labels many, many moons ago that used its resources and fought tooth and nail to build a name for itself, and now someone's coming along trying to steal it from us just because they have some money, more money than us. So we just ask, your audience, the good folks that listen to Jay and the Giant Blast, my good man over there in North Carolina, I give you a shout out.
Oh yeah.
That, you help us out, man, and go and write about, the injustices of corporate America trying to come and gobble up the small guy. Don't let it happen, man. Peace out.
Definitely, definitely.